Hello, welcome back. I'm streaming again, almost 2 days in a row. Almost? 2 days in a row. Uh, as long as today is Monday and not Tuesday, I think so. Alright, whatever. Okay, so welcome back. What are we doing? We're going to continue um, with our Luggett project, so converting a couple of miniatures. These ones right here. Yesterday we took some old goblins, some old fanatics, and just kind of gave them some big hefty weapons, and we managed to do four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So today I'm going to try to do as many as I can. Hopefully get these four out of the way. I've got my collection of weapons and bits. Alright, so let's get started as fast as we can, because we don't have a whole lot of time, and we need to get through them all. Okay, so like the other ones previously, let's turn that music down in my ears, there we go. It's hard to work with when it's all kind of stuck together, but singing as this is just super glue, should be easy enough to snip off. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that music, but I don't like it. Alright, get that arm off, yes. Okay, and using my dodgy knife, cut away all the dodgy bits. And cleaning up all the lines again. Went and saw Ready or Not last night at the cinema, like I was planning to. It's a decent movie. A solid 3.5 star movie. Funny in spots, quite gruesome in others. But, what's her name? Ms. Weaving, the main character, or actress. She played it really well, even though I kept thinking that she was Margot Robbie. Very similar look in that movie. So I have to double check to make sure that my microphone's on. Yep. I think I've learnt my lesson now regarding muting the microphone and unmuting it before I start. And I mute it because you don't need to hear me setting up, jostling about. I still haven't gone and checked to see if music carries over to the YouTube uploads or not, or if it's just a live stream thing only. Okay, so I'm just cutting away all the glue, the super glue that was on the arms before, so we can let the plastic cement do its thing, so it's hitting the miniature and not the glue. But yeah, Ready or Not was pretty good. Keen to check out Terminator. I'm not expecting much, so I guess can't be too disappointed. I've enjoyed the others so far. I mean, they're still just angry robots and people beating them up, or vice versa. I think law's sort of gone out the window when it comes to Terminator. I keep rewriting the thing. Oh, this guy's got, looks like he's just been ripped off a base. That's why his feet are black. We don't need them, get out of there. Okay. And that's something new. This arrived. Yeah, I'll just change back to this camera. This big hefty book. Massive tome. Oof. Smells like the UK. It's not a bad thing. Reminds you of better days. I don't know, whatever. I've had the PDF for a little while, but at least I've got the physical now. I can beat people over the head with it if I get angry. Don't hit people. It was a joke. Although some would argue, don't joke about violence. Too bad. It's happening. Violence can be funny. Slapstick humour. People like the Three Stooges. I don't, but they were always hitting each other. Especially if there's an amusing sound effect to accompany it. The whiz bangs and the boinks. And the cuckoos afterwards. Because those sounds by themselves don't make any sense. Alright, so that's the body done. I don't think there's any mold lines on the actual face. Where's the focus point now? Too far. Focus. About there. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. I'm just going to go ahead and do all of these now. Then I don't have to worry about it. Okay, let's clip the arrow out of this guy's hands. Shouldn't worry too much about the hand itself since we're going to be covering it with the handle. The arm we do, and the glue point we also have to worry about. Just let me bring up my phone so I can see chat easier. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, there we go. So in the event that someone does rock up, I don't ignore them. For too long at least. I think I need to increase the brightness of my monitor as well because I mean I don't know about you, but I like my screen nice and dark, like the brightness set real low. Just for my eyes' sake. But then when you go to use the computer in the day, it's good, and I don't want to be adjusting my brightness all the time. So it stays dark. But that can make it difficult to see when you're sitting a few feet away or a meter away. Okay, where's my nifty clips? There they are. Nifty clippers, the one with the very thin blade. Oh. I could chop a sprue all day using these. Such enjoyment. I'll say it again, you got to get yourself a pair. They're fantastic. And what are they? They're just, I think they're nippers, what they call them. From just a Gundam store, Gundam assembly store, where you buy all your Gundam models. But they cut instead of pinch. So you've got one blade that's bigger than the other, it's like scissors. Whereas these ones, they just kind of push. These ones kind of slightly intersect. Yeah, they're good. They're not everyday clippers though, so don't go cutting paper clips and other small bits of metal, because you'll just dent them. That's why I use these rubbish things for that purpose. Kind of like pliers. Okay, scrape all the glue off this. Probably hear how crunchy that is. Super crunchy. Alrighty. So what have we got? We got this guy and his two arms. I'll just clean up this bit because there's a lot of shavings. Get it out of the way so we can see what I'm doing. I don't want to roll onto the floor. I vacuumed this morning, so trying to keep it as clean as I can. Next, this ugly gobbo with the massive heads. I was never really a big fan of these guys, this particular goblin design, just because how big they were, and when you were playing Warhammer they were just about as tall as a human, but way more disproportionate. So they weren't quite goblin-y, they were just weird looking people dudes. Didn't make much sense to me. And their hands are massive, absolutely massive. So when you're comparing them again to another human model, their hands was bigger than their head. Although the faces on these guys can show some decent expression instead of just a grimace or a yell. I was almost willing to fork out some more money to order some heads from eBay or a bits seller so I can convert some dudes up, maybe stick them on some Mantic Orc bodies, but I think they just look weird. So I didn't in the end, and I'm just kind of glad I've still had these guys. And we make do. So with Kings of War, the order that I got with my rulebook, I also went out and purchased, let me send off here, there we go, the Gamer Bundle, Gamers Bundle. Has some artifact cards and some dice, some objectives. Might bust them out right at the end if I've got time to show you what they're like. I was thinking, oh great, pair of dice. Well, it's not going to cost anything. Some counters and some objectives, right? But they're decent quality, and I might actually use them. That's just from my observation. I haven't actually felt the things. I haven't opened the bag to check, but from a cursory glance, or just the once over, they seem pretty good. They're not boutique special, but they're not rubbish, I guess is the point. Okay. How we going here? Alright, that's 2 down. And we've got our... oh wait, no, we haven't done the arms yet. Okay. Clip these guys off. Do I need to move this thing? I might have to readjust the focus now. Let's see. If we're looking at this guy at about this height, how focused is he? That actually doesn't look too bad. That's bad. That's better. Worse. Better. Oh, we'll just do that. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, let's get back to snipping. I've lost his hand. So that's that guy. That's got one. Okay, this one too. Right. And that's why we hold on to bits, because otherwise they just go flanging. There we go. Let's cut off the rubbish. Okay. Okay, let's just gotta answer a message here. Sorry about this. Alrighty. This hand looks pretty mangled. Alright, I think that's 2 done. Oh no, it wasn't. I just did 1 arm. Okay. I think after this, once I get this unit done and dusted for the stream, I still got to paint the Twisted Lady, the teacher, who I think still looks alright, even in this current state. Base coats, mainly. Doesn't look terrible. Just about 3/4 done, maybe half done. I'll assemble some Star Wars Legion. Get that going. It's pretty, the robots seem pretty basic, so having some company while I do that would be good. Excuse me, I'm a little gassy. Alright, where's Twitch? There we go. Again, haven't watched these resin fellas when I should have, but I'll make do. It's got to be gentle when I go to clean it. Any other bits of flash there? Is that an air bubble? I think that is supposed to be an air bubble. Can we turn that into a bit of cloth? How big is that air bubble? It's pretty big. I might actually have to fill that one in with some Needlite, green stuff, as it's more commonly known as. Probably same with that foot there as well. You can see it's quite an egregious bowl. Doesn't actually have a toe. So I'm thinking this guy I'm going to have to pin through this foot, maybe at that angle this way, so he can stand properly, because otherwise he's going to keep falling over. Yeah, can't think of any other way to do it. While I'm here and cleaning, I'm just going to score the hand for gluing. So that's just making some marks with the blade. And this is one of the reasons why I like to use a dodgy blade that's fairly blunt, because it's less chance of me actually cutting myself. I have to real jam it in there for that to happen. See if I can move my camera so it's not hitting the light. Using a life cam, and it doesn't have the greatest maneuverability. The head doesn't swivel, and it's just got this weird rubbery thing. There we go, that'll do. Andrew made up, well, he printed out a little object that it can sit in, so you can mount it on a tripod, because normally you can't. And it does work real well. And I just got the file off Thingiverse, because that's where you go if you want free files to print with. Not always good, but At least there's a bit there, and you don't have to do all the work. Shouldn't stress too much because you can fix a lot of this stuff in painting. Just get the big ones out. What is this? Face of the enemy. Is that a good face? Is it a bad face? What kind of enemy? I need details. Viking guitar. If that is your real name. Alright, so we'll see if we can score this part here underneath. I'll actually use my scalpel. Dodgy scalpel, old blade. You can see the tip's been snapped off. There we go. So it's square, not pointy, which is good for my fingers. This particular spot here on my finger, I don't know if you can see it in this light. It's where I cut my finger, right around there. Went with the knife, chopping onions. Still a bit tender. It's a decent scar, but not that you can see, so it's not that decent, I guess. Stupid onions. Plenty of air bubbles in this one. I guess it's a good thing it's just underneath the figure and not in the front. I think that's as good as we're going to get, or as good as I can be bothered with. What's his nose feeling? Sounds like Dynasty Warriors, I don't know if anyone's played that. Which is why we're going to skip. Boink. Alright, next one. Next one. Okay. So I think I found what the culprit was in terms of disconnecting of my stream. And that was because I was viewing it at the same time as streaming, and my net just couldn't handle it. Freaked out every time. I was going to suggest now that the quality should increase, but I don't think I don't think it has. How many little blobby things has this thing got? A bunch. Whew. Alrighty. Like I said, I really like this cast, but these last couple of Fanatics have been a bit disappointing with the amount of air bubbles. Still better than Finecast. Is that a bell? I think it's supposed to be a bell. I don't want to break it too much. And again, there's another massive air bubble. Yeah. I'll fill them in off stream because I don't think you need to watch me filling gaps with putty. But instead, watch me scrape a model with a knife. It's much more entertaining. Okay, so I can see that's where an armor would go, so I'm going to score that. Use a bit of force, because, again, my blade's a bit dodgy. Let's give the piece something to grip onto. And also, if there's any release agent on that particular part, scoring should remove it. I think this is good enough. Don't have to worry about under the hat. The top of the hat feels okay. That ridge is pretty sharp, but it's still rounded, so it doesn't feel like a defect. Feet are fine. A bit rough, maybe I'll just clean them up. Smooth them out. Don't know how we're going to pin that one. Standing on his toes would look silly. Or would it? I don't know. I think he's supposed to be flying like that. These guys are both flying? Yeah. I don't know. We'll work on the hands now. Excuse me. Ruffling the mic. Alright, which on which? This one on this one? Okay, so that doesn't feel proper. It could be that it needs to be bent, which hot water will fix, or I can carve it down a bit. Hot water should do the trick. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to go to the kitchen, get some hot water, just fix this now, off stream, and I'll be back in just a moment. And I'll mute my mic. Okay, I've returned. Let me readjust. Alright, so this resin was quite hard. So when I put all the hot water on it, it wasn't shifting very well. And I decided, how about we just give it a bit of force, huh? Ended up twisting the bloody chain. Nothing glue can't fix. So we've got a weak link right here now. But at least the hand can hit that wrist there. So it's got to make sure I put a dab of glue there so it doesn't break in the future. Okay. What was I doing with this thing? Cleaning it first before I destroy it. But it actually looks alright. I don't think it needs much cleaning at all. How about this other guy? It's already got one hand, so this must be the last bit. That looks weird, doesn't it? What is that? Is that how it's supposed to be? I think so. Is that normal? Like this should be cut. This bit here. Because when it's on, I don't know. Is that right? It'll be right. Bugger it. That'll do. Or maybe I'll just give it a little nudge, a little shave. Not much. I might get my clippers for that because it's quite tough. And I probably ruined it. Okay. Has that made any difference at all once I clean this up? Who was it? This guy. It's made no difference at all. Excellent. So we're leaving it as is. Alright. So we're just got to check for mold lines. Looks pretty good. I can't tell if that is or not, or if it's just a manky nail. I think it's just a manky nail. It looks weird, but so I'm going to shave it. I'm not going to be able to tell anyway, since it's kind of facing away from you. Okay, and now this is where the weapon's going to attach to. So I'm going to clean this up a bit, make it nice and flat. Because we're going to have to pin it, like with the others. And we'll see how we go with that. Alright, how was he? He was clean, he was clean. And we've got to see where we want to cut the weapon, or cut the chain for this particular weapon. So, probably use a big honkin' club. Yeah, just right at the hand. Which is... because we have to pin it as well, so we have to think about the angle. How about above this link here? Hope for the best. Did that work? We'll make it work. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, that chain's about to give. And there it goes. Now, how is that going to sit? Like, do we have to worry about pinning that? No, because if we glue this part here, and then glue that part there, that should be plenty of surface for it to grab. I don't need to pin that chain back. Yeah, we'll be fine. Okay. Might actually make it easy to pop the clubs on there. So I don't think I've used this club yet. Nope, so I'm going to use that one. Okay, use my fancy clippers. Oh, like a dream. I don't know, something about it. Every single time I use them, my eyes roll back. I think we have developed a fetish. Okay, give this a clean before we add it onto the chain. It's pretty rough anyway, so don't have to be too worried about chopping chunks out, because it's all pretty chunky choppy already. But the lines will still stand out, which is why we're getting rid of them. I guess my point is, you don't have to be neat about it, as long as they're gone. And you don't create new lines too, because that would just be going backwards. Okay. Alrighty. So, we've got one viewer. Hello. Can you hear the music and stuff? Is the volume sound alright to you? Because I can't tell. Now, I'm not going to ask for comment on the style of music. This is just a thing that happens with Twitch. It's not like I can use anything, it's royalty free or some such. I think I pay $2 a month or something in that vicinity, so you don't get ads spammed in the chat channel as to what song is being played. Okay, club, done. Who are we going this with? What is it? The one that we just stuffed up? Probably. So let's see how it fits with this hand. It's quite a bit more chunky, oh, excuse me, than that bit there. Are you going to notice it? That's how it'll look. Maybe you are. I can maybe shave this down a little to make it seem a bit more seamless. Well, that's going to be a bloody massive seam anyway, so I shouldn't worry too much, I guess. So that's not the point of this particular stream. We're going to get this done as fast as we can. So I should stop stressing about the details that only I will probably only ever see. Unless I point it out. Okay, so get my drill bits. I can't tell if any is sharper than the other, so we'll go with this guy on the far right. Had these same bits for years and years and years and years and years. So I should probably update them. Okay, so drilling a hole right in the dead center of this thing if we can. So just nice and slow until you see a bit of material come out. Then you can review to see if where the hole is correct. It's slightly high, so I'll move it down a bit and try again. That's better. So I'm just angling it one particular way to get towards more the center and then straightening up. And then just turning it kind of like a lathe to make sure that it's dead center all the way through. Okay, let's have a look at that again. Hey, I've got 2 viewers now, yay! Welcome people who are watching. But are silent. You don't have to talk. I know you're there. That's all that matters. But yeah, so I think after I get this unit done, we'll put some Star Wars together. Because putting droids together sounds like it's not exciting. It's the same thing over and over again. It's almost like batch assembly. No defining features on any of the robots. Alright, so let's see how far we've gone through on this. Get my pin. I don't know if that's far enough. Nah, let's go further. Okay. Putting a bit of pressure on the drill. Try and force it a bit faster. Test again. I think that's a decent amount now. That should hold. Okay. And now for the hand which it's supposed to go on, which I can't remember because I always forget. That's on that part. That guy is that one. Keep them separate. This is the one that we have to worry about. Yeah, I'm just going to drill dead center and hope for the best, I think. If I can. Is that dead center? That's way out of focus there. I can change that just for this. We'll see what happens. Take that out. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Now we've got to follow the line of that chain. And we can't go too far because it's not a very big piece. That's straight, that's straight, that's straight, yep. But anything will be better than just straight super glue in this case. Check the distance. Yeah, we'll probably go another mil, I reckon. Still okay, still okay. Alright, I think we're done. Alright, so let's try and guesstimate where do I put me metal bits. Flippin' paper clips. There we go. We got that. Plus that. I'm gonna guess here. Oh, there we go. Let's look at dodgy clippers. And slap that in here. Oof. Like a glove. Oh, it might be a slight, like a quarter mil. Maybe I was wrong. It's the same thing. I think it's just not sitting right. Alright. May need to fill that with some putty later. Not for now. That's all that I'm going to be bothered doing. Yeah, we knew it wasn't going to be a flush fit. So I'm just trying to see if there's going to be, if it's going to be super wonky. And if so, how do we sort of resolve that, just so it doesn't look weird on the miniature? I think that might be it there. Because if that's like that... Yeah, let's glue it, bugger it. Let's stop faffing about. Let's get it done. Okay, so I'm going to pop a bit of glue on the hole. Pop the pin in. Which will coat it as well. Pop glue on the pin. Pop that on the hand. And way that just kind of grips it a bit. I guess that's it. That held. Alright. Now let's glue this fella on now, because we know that that fits correct on the miniature. Oh, I've got to clean that bit there, missed that. Thumb. Alrighty. Is that clean enough? Yeah, it's clean enough. So we just score the arm. So the glue grabs. Is that right? Can you see that, okay? See as well as you can, I guess. And the part that will sit next to the body. And how does that fit here? There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to score on the inside there as well. Use a scalpel so it's got a dinner blade or angle, so I can actually get in there. For maximum adhesion. Alright, that'll do. Just a single bloop, not much. And schlep. Okay. Okay. Now I'll just push that in and hold it for a bit. That should have grabbed. Yes, it did. And now we reward ourselves with hydration. Listen to that water. Okay. I need to score the wrist here, because I don't think I did that. I did it on the body, but not the hand. Now, I could pin it. Pin the hand to this one, to make it even more sturdy. But you know what? I can't be bothered. I think that'll hold well enough. So dab and dab on those two bits. And forget where to put it. Alright, there we go. Grab, you fool. Is that how it's supposed to go? Well, that's how it's going. And we will gap fill if need be. Yep, just need to fill in that, I think. But since we're going to be filling in these air bubbles anyway, that's not going to matter too much. There we go, looks like he's holding a drumstick. Maybe we should paint it as such. But otherwise, that's successful enough. Boink, that's one done, 3 left. This guy, what are we doing with him? So he is flanging over this way. Let's see if I can hold both of these things at the same time. Seems like a struggle at the moment. Ah. Alrighty. Now awkwardly move my arm. I don't think this particular head is going to look okay with this thing. It's like a big mace, you might as well just use the old thing. How about this bit of a club? That's more club-like. Yeah, let's go with that one. So I've already cleaned those bits, so we've just got to clean this thing. Snip him off his shtick. And I should do it the other way, because the other way is flatter. I don't think I did that the right way. Doesn't matter, it's happened. Okay. I watched The Revenant on the weekend. The Leo DiCap movie. It was alright, it was long. Perhaps too long. Too many close-ups of people spitting and grunting. And screaming and bleeding. But Leo's grunting and screaming and bleeding is very convincing, hence the award. I'm pretty sure that's what he won the award for. Slowly crawling through the snow. I gotta say, I wish Tom Hardy would just choose a role where he speaks normal. Seems like everything that he's in, he's got in some weird accent. Just speak normal, come on. Does he even have a normal voice? We'll never know. It's like Jeff Bridges, can never understand what that man's saying. What? Sounds like he's got tissue and marbles in his mouth when he speaks. Maybe he's just a really intimidating fella, so people don't correct him or ask him, what did you say? They just nod and smile. That's how he gets whatever he wants. Okay. Enough of that nonsense, let's see if this fits. It'll fit enough, I guess. There. And shabloink. Just trying to make sure it... I think this part here isn't flat, so it keeps kind of rolling off. I'm just going to see if I can straighten it by cutting it. Oh great, it's raining again. Good thing I did the washing this morning, huh? Weird weather up here today. In the back streets of Bendigo. Okay. Still doesn't feel right. I'm just going to have to pin it and then fill later to make it sit. Maybe it's not the thing, but it's this thing. If it's not the thing, it's the other thing. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. That's what we're doing. Alrighty. Pinnapalooza. Let's see. There's a flimsy bit there, so we're going to have to go a bit further up, not direct center. Okay. Nice and easy does it. Man, it's real come down. Doesn't make me want to go out and feed the horses later. It's like a sheet of water. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, is this straight enough? It is on that angle. And it will be on that angle. Okay. Steam ahead. Try and go a decent way because it's going to be sticking up this thing, so it's probably going to get knocked at some point. And we want it as strong as we can get. Well, I want it as strong as we can. You probably don't. I can't say. Okay. How far in have we gotten? Not very. But, again, it's not like it can go very far anyway. Let's push a little further and hope I don't bust through to the other side. Okay, starting to feel a bit weaker here. So that's going to have to do. I've misplaced my paperclip once more, as is tradition. And let's test, see how far we've gone. That far. How wiggly is it? Nah, that's alright. Okay, let's pin this guy then. And how centered do we have to be with this? Bloody cat hair? Cat hair everywhere. We have to be... slightly off. Alright. About here. That's slight. Okay. And this is a big chunkin' club, so don't have to stress too much about making sure that it's straight. Because it'll be straight enough unless I'm kind of kaflanging in it. You don't want to kaflang, that's bad. Pro tip, don't kaflang. Unless you're hoping to kaflang, then kaflang all you want. Should get that on a t-shirt. So dear viewer, you're now getting an insight of what it would be like to observe me speaking to myself in an empty room. Just a brief glimpse in that window. Alright, how far did we go? Pretty deep, she said. Alright. And how far was that one? Not as. Not as plus pretty is decent. That's maths. How about we try that? Next song. Whoa. It's a little wibbly wobbly. Not so timey-wimey. Okay. I think that's fine. Let's glue that biz niche. So I might glue it to the hand first. Okay. And now the club. Alright, where is the best angle? I think that's best enough. Hoi. Yeah? Yeah. Alright. Give this arm a bit of a score. I'd say 8 out of 15. Which is a new metric in the Olympics now. So I've heard, according to the voices in mine head. Will it blend? It will. Okay. Bit of glue on the arm and where the chain would go. Slap it with great care and abandon, both at the same time. And don't glue your hand. For great success. Very nice. Wait! That's another one down. 2 chain club fling fellas. Or luggets, as they're scientifically known as. Clean up the space a bit. Burp into my mouth as well, because I am a grot. And that wasn't a burp, that was just gas coming out of my throat. Involuntarily. Alrighty. You get to hear all of it. So we've got 2 hands there, we have a left and a right here. We could go with another club like that. I think we should use a big honkin'. Or do we go 2? Oh, how about 2 for that fella and a big honkin' for this fella? Sounds good? Excellent, I'm glad you agree. So we'll snip this boy off. Go on, snip it off. Yeah. Alright, and we'll do the bottom as well because there will be a handle protruding from the base. Oh wait, gotta clean this first because it'll be a pain in the neck if you're going to try clean it not attached to its hand, because this just gives us something more to hold on to. Speaking of video games, I'm really enjoying Subnautica at the moment, which is like a survival first-person game where you're scuba diving, since the name Subnautica. And I've just built a little submersible to explore the depths which my character can't swim normally. And it's terrifying. Trying to find the life pods of other crew, finding them empty, and then having a giant sea monster hunt you down and break your ship. Absolutely terrifying. But it's great. It's even better because I got it free because of the Epic Games Store giveaways. It's like they're giving away 2 games every week for the last bunch of months, so I'm getting quite a sizable library just for having the Epic Games Store available to me, which I will not complain about. Thanks, Fortnite. Without you, I would not have free games. Okay, so we're just cleaning up the mold lines on this club. Is it a club? To Google a definition. Or is this a mace? Could be a crude morning star, it is started. Almost done here. Tap all of that rubbish off it. What's the time? 3:30. Okay. You could do an okay. Making okay tracks. Okay. Give it a little blow. Get all that residue off. And I think we'll just dry fit it now to see how it comes together. But just looking at this particular angle, I think that's already off kilter. So let's see if I can straighten that up now. Now this one we won't pin because it's plastic on plastic. Excuse me. I think I'd go with the old contactor plastic cement glue, which requires no pinning because, like I've said before, it'll melt the two surfaces, they'll smoosh together and dry and become one happy family. Could be a dysfunctional family, who knows? I don't pry. And where is the other arm? This one. Okay. So this guy seems pretty proud with his arm because he's an archer, so that's why we're making do. Holding a club out like that is pretty derpy. Holding it down as well might be derp-orific, but it is heavy. But if we hold it above his hand, look at I got a club. I don't know if that's gonna work. What's the least derpy? That's our aim at the moment. Least derpy. Holding it down, forward. Yeah, it's pretty big. Let's do that. All right, so dry fit time. Just to make sure that angles are not terrible. And as you can see, that's way off. And way off. And I think it's to do with the goblin's hand, because it's kind of curving up a bit that way. Because of the thumb. So I'm going to cut straight and then flick. Cut straight and flick. So we've still got the ridge of the thumb here, but then we've also got a nice flat point for the handle of the club. Let's see if my words were rubbish. I think it needs to be slightly over a bit. So we're going to dig further in before we flick. Dig further in before we flick. That's reducing the thickness of that thumb. And we'll go down the other way as well. Push down and flick. Push down and flick. That's better. Okay, I'm going to get rid of an edge to make it sit flush. Sounds like a rip-off Ghostbusters wannabe. Alright, that'll do. Let's glue away. Just the one should be fine. But we will need to sit here for a bit longer as the plastic melts, so we can smoosh. Come on, eat it. Eat the glue. That wasn't a command. Don't follow through. Alrighty. And the bottom, does the knob fit? It's hard because my slender, delicate fingers are getting in the way. That looks okay, doesn't look too bad, so I'm just going to go with it. Which way did I have it? I've already lost it. It's straight enough. Straight enough. Alrighty. You might just shift it over slightly, just so it's not at the edge. because we want it to look like he's gripping it. Not like there's a knob that's just been glued to his hand. And a bit of pressure to make it smooge. I smudged it too far. Abandon ship. Okay. That'll do, I reckon. Slightly bent. It's not going to matter because of the angle that we do here. You're not going to notice it. He's going to have it rested on his foot. That's fine. It's a big hefty club. He's going to have trouble lifting it. He's a goblin. Fix up that, because I felt it and it didn't feel right. And I guess with his other hand, he's just gonna get ready to punch something. I don't know. What do you do with a hand that doesn't do anything? Yar. Yar? Yar it is. Okay. Not yar too high. What even is that pose? Bugger it. Down we go. Like the other arm. It's the only pose I feel comfortable with. So then if this one goes on here. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's do that now. Bit of dough glue, and I'll mix it with this so it starts to work. And we have to avoid touching the other arm because otherwise it'll move. Okay, this is difficult. The floor is lava. In this case, the arm is not glued yet. So I'm just trying to make sure that there's enough contact from the arm to the body and not just an edge. Because to me it looked like in here, right in that bit there was a gap, but I think just pressing it then, it felt okay. And I might actually just put a little bit of glue just to glue the foot and the club there. Just give it a bit more support. Smooth it off a bit so the bottom can get some sweet, sweet substance onto it. Don't taste this, it's probably not sweet. And push it forward to make it merge. You need to be both gentle and forceful. Okay, I think that's him. That's him done. Look at him log it. So cute. Alright, next we have the two-handed bongo boy. So my hope is to make him hold his sticks like this. Does that actually work on this one in terms of positioning the whatsits? I can make him drum. I can make them both go up. Let's make them both go up. Okay. So we cleaned the hands, that's fine. We just need to make sure there's enough space for the club to sit. I might actually cut the handle at 2 different points. And where are we? Let's say here. So he's just holding onto the handle and not the shaft itself. Yeah, that needs a lot of cutting this thing because it's massive, massive thumb. So like before, down and across. I know there's a woodworking term for that kind of cut, for joining, but I've forgotten it because I don't work wood. I'm hoping to make a new box for miniatures for Kings of War. So instead of a large tray, it's more upright with shelves. But maybe come payday I'll grab some wood and have a bit of an experimental fiddle. That didn't sound very good, but anyway. There we go on here. That feels fine. It's going to be quite a long handle, so I'm going to cut off a bit just to shorten it a touch. Oh wait, I should actually clean that because I'm not going to be able to clean it afterwards. Just running the blade along the lines, and that'd be fine. Okay, and snap. Let's get gluing. Where did I put the hand? There it is. What is this song? It's Friday night or something? Oh, I didn't clean this. I've got to be quick since the other thing's melting already. Saw the new G-Dub Chaos stuff coming out. The warriors look okay, the knights look absolutely terrible. Personally, the horses are rubbish, and they're just big balls of armor. There's no real defining features at all, so you can't see anything. Okay. Is that alright? That's alright. Alright, so we've already put glue on that. We'll just bugger it and just glue that one too. And hope for the best. That's straight enough. It's gonna be. Get a little bit of working time with plastic cement though, so that's good. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to see the back of the hand anyway. How about this nubby boy? Yeah, bugger it. Let's just go. Bottom of the hand, bottom of the nub. Let it sit for a second or two to get nice and goopy, and then smoosh. Proper smoosh. Alright. Just going to spin it and maneuver it until I'm happy with the positioning, so it looks like it's one cohesive thing and not two parts. Like that, not happy. There, happier. Is it straight? Not particularly. Does it work? Yes. Okay. Next. Clean first. Don't forget this time. Bit of a departure with the music here. Until the dubstep kicks in. Okay. I recently went through and watched all the, well, not all of them, the episodes 1 through 6 of Star Wars. They're okay. Some are much better than others. None of them are great. I could never remember episode 6. It's like I've started that marathon multiple times, but kind of burn out at 4 or 5. The screen just changed then, and I thought that the stream had disconnected. Nope, it hasn't. Okay. How was that? Fine enough. Alright. This guy's thumb is also quite rounded, so let's cut it out. Alrighty, is that cut out enough? It's gonna be. We'll snippety doo this bit. Oof, so good. And that's obviously not very straight. Very much on an angle. Okay. Does it work? I don't know. I think that ropey bit is annoying me. Let's get rid of it. So I'm just following the contour of the club until I get to the straps, and that's when I flick out, much like what I was doing to the hand. And so after paint, you shouldn't notice that this was even here. Scrape it to round it out. Okay, and so it should just look like strap. Okay. How does that look now? Better, better, but needs shaving on one particular section to make it flush. So let's do that side. Yep, alright, glue it. And put a bit of pressure on it, because it'll pass these exams, otherwise it's not getting a job. Ever. Take that, pressure. And what I do with the nub, I've already lost it again. There we go. Let's just try and cut the nub as straight as we can. So good. Clean it up. And the edges, because I am aware that I keep moving my hands away from the camera so I can get better light. I apologize. But if you've seen many of my streams, you'll know that's just what happens. Got a few now, which is good. Still quite a ways from being a Twitch affiliate, because you need to meet certain requirements. One of them being stream on 7 unique days or have a certain amount of followers. And I think the toughest one for me will be the amount of average viewers. Need to have a couple in each one. Wow, that's a bendy boy. So I guess if we just try and make it as straight as we can in this particular direction, hopefully no one notices that it's a bit wonky at the bottom. So it's a scythe handle. Scythe bladed handle. I don't know. That's what we got. That's what we're dealing with. So, too bad. Alright, now what did we say we were doing with these? Up in the air. Like they just did not care? Sure. Splooge. Splooge. Wait. a New York minute, which is, by the way, exactly the same amount of time as any other minute in another place. You're not special, New York. Okay. Also a fun fact, a hot minute is the same amount of time as a New York minute, which is the same time as any other minute in any other place. You can take that to the bank. Well, don't, they won't care. They may even ask you to leave. Okay, that's one done. One done. Two down. Okay, okay, there we go, drummer boy. So, once we have these, all I need to do is the simple task of painting the entire flippin' thing and doing the multi-base. Simples. As the one particular meerkat would say here in Australia. Ah! Grip, you fool. Send Gandalf in an outtake. What he actually meant was fly. But he was too concerned with holding onto the ledge, hence, grip, you fool. And everybody laughed till the end of their days. That's a wonky club, isn't it? Is there anything we can do about that now? Probably not. I could cut the wrist and twist it, but it's not gonna happen. Well, it might happen. It's happening. Alright, I'm gonna rip this off the arm. Let this guy dry to the body. And quickly, with much haste, snippy do this bit and glue the arm, I think, back on to the body. And then we can adjust the wrist. So if that is there, and then we wait. So maybe that might actually help with the gluing because it's not a whole bunch of weight. And just while we wait, I'm just going to scrape this bit under the neck because that will bug me. Just to clean it off. Okay. Did I even get out? Bloody shavings everywhere. Yeah, it's still not set. I gotta be patient. Okay. While I'm being patient, let us clean up this space a little more. Set this guy aside. See if I can reach over and grab a tissue. Ooh, noises of stretching. Okay, and I'm just gonna sweep all of this rubbish into the tissue. A clean space is a good space. Most of the time. I might keep a few of those little bits like these balls here, because I think I could use them for other things. Probably not the hands. And if I keep the fletchings and arrowheads for unit decoration, I know I will lose them, so I might as well throw them out now. That's clean enough. Scrunch that up. Alright fella, have you had enough time? No? Too bad. That's live television for you. So now our aim is to have it a different angle to the other arm so it's not looking the same. Don't want it matchy-matchy. That's better. There we go. That works. Now, how do we rest it so there's not much pressure on it so it bends again? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Alright, so that's our work done. It's streaming for an hour and a half. And the results of the 2 days of work, we have 8 luggets to go with our Fanatics to fill out the bases. And here I was thinking I would have to spend more money. Such a miser. Okay. So we've got 8 here. I'll take these guys off their bases now, since they're, well, I'll try to anyway, since I'm not going to use them on bases. I can reuse that magnet. Cannot reuse these bases. Gonna have to cut that tab off. What the heck was on here? That was so goopy. This particular miniature was purchased secondhand, that's why the paint's all a bit flat. And he's chipped, because it wasn't undercoated right, or sprayed varnish. 1. Can I knock these guys out without too much trouble? I don't think so. Oh, there's a bit of a crack. As long as I'm not touching the actual figure, I'm not too worried about putting much pressure on it, because I shouldn't snap the figure if I'm just touching the base. Shouldn't. Oof, there we go. Now I touch the figure. 2. You don't really care about reckon bases. I have many spare. And this particular basing technique doesn't require much effort as well. Some texture paint, some grass, done. I might go over these older metal herders with a bit of paint, because they, like I said, they're a bit flat in comparison to the rest of my goblins. And I'm not a fan of bright white nails, just personally. Okay, flying through this, which is good. I might actually put those broken bases into my rubbish tissue. Oh wait, do they have magnets on them? None. Okay, because this one does. Made me question my entire existence. Okay, we're getting there. Well, look outside, we have sidewards rain and sun. The most confused weather pattern today. And I need to work out if I'm struggling just bending these bloody bases. Working out my wrists. Or phalanges of some sort. Okay, I can hear that my dogs that are inside the house are getting a bit restless. So I might just pop this on the Be Right Back screen, let them out, because I don't want to make a mess inside. And I'll, as the sign says, be right back. And I've returned, as you can probably tell. Just by coincidence, our meal kits arrived at the exact same time. Okay. Where was I? Oh, Breaking Bases. Not to be confused with the hit TV show about a chemist. Wait, that one had a magnet on it. Okay, and this old boy is probably going to look out of place, but he's going in there as well. So, we have a regiment base and 2 troop bases. So I have options in the future. We need to, or I need to, plan out how I'm going to pop this onto, pop these onto the bases. I don't think I'm going to be bringing up the camera, or the figures to the camera, so I'm going to just change the focus on this to make it nice and clear, or clear, if I spoke properly. Is that alright? Alright. Okay. Also factoring in terrain elements. Alright. Now, so I don't get confused, how many have we got here? 8 grey, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. What's that? 9 apiece. 9 for the regiment. Probably a bit under in terms of units or models per what's it. And then we've got a 4 and a 5. I may have to throw in just a sneaky goblin or critter of some sort just to boost up the count for that. Just in terms of legality for tournaments. But also again, it's probably not going to matter because these guys are so chunky. I don't think anyone's going to get confused in terms of what unit it is supposed to be. I might snip these tabs just to shorten them a bit. Now bugger it. Okay, what I could use is some blue tack, which I have right here. And this on the bottom of each fella will help us figure out where they should go. So if we got 4 grey boys on this one and 2 on each of the other ones, that's a good start. Then we've got 2 metallics over here, maybe the big metallic on there, 1 on each of these guys, and that leaves us with it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 5 and 5, I reckon. Yeah, that'll do. So I'll just bring this forward into range a bit more. 2 grey boys, 2 metal boys, 2 plastic boys for each of the troop. No, 1 metal boy. So 5 and 5. Yep. My gargoyles for the Abyssal Dwarfs have 5, maybe 6 apiece. So I'll be fine here. And then we've got 4 and 8 on this one. So let's see how this fills out the base. So put a bit of tack on each one. Not that guy, because that'll need pinning. But these chunky boys. It's the fanatics themselves with the balls and chain are going to be the biggest problem because they're so, I guess, adequately unwieldy. Okay. Yeah, flip it. I'm going to cut these tabs off now because it's going to be a problem. So just marking just underneath the feet, essentially. Into the tissue bin. And cut off the majority of these tabs because they're far too long. That's more reasonable. some gluey boots on his tootsies. Alrighty. Hey, that worked. Let's do the same with everything else. Okay. How am I going for blue tack? Okay, how am I going for time? Getting pretty short. Won't be here too much longer. But I am happy with the progress here. I've only got a couple of weeks until the tournament. I think we'll be fine. Although I would like to get a couple of games of Universal Battle 2 in, if I don't get to play it this week. Just so I'm not going in blind. And I think I've got the rules down pat. It's not like it's a difficult rule system. But I just want to play it safe. I'm probably going to have to get some more tack. I don't know if I have it. I feel like this is one of the things that I keep buying and then just keep losing. Metal Boy. Metal Boy goes with there. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to use a lot of attack with this fella. So I think this fella up front, he is not in a good position. I think this guy has to sort of... Oh, he's so flat. These old metals are so flat. One pieces. Okay. Goodo. Thanks, Andrew, the anonymous viewer. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thanks for jumping in. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Okay. I don't know what to do with these guys. They're so old. It's just, they don't look right. Maybe you should be on one of these smaller bases. But then he sticks out too much. Front and center it is then. I think these grey boys, since they're not flangy, I should go back a bit. I think him being here is okay. Let's cut that tab, because it's so chunky. Okay. I think I've got about maybe 10 minutes left until I have to brave the wild weather outside and feed the horses. Well, I've just put hay out, so I don't know how hungry they're going to be. Okay. I fix this fella to my base. Man, this is dodgy. Okay, alrighty. Yeah, he's gonna have to be in the corner. That flanging just doesn't, it's not gonna work in the center. And I think this flanger is in a similar position, so he should go up front because he looks cool. This guy, let's angle him slightly so his ball and chain is kind of going up and out. Not too much, because I'm always conscious about when a base would go up against another base in the game. Base to base contact. I don't want them knocking or getting in the way. So how's that so far? That's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that it? Doesn't feel right. And what can we do here? Nah, I don't like this guy. Where he is. Putting off the balance. It's all falling apart. This is the worst bit, trying to lay out a multi-base. And put some sort of thought in there. I think this one has to go on some sort of terrain element. Flying off a rock, I think. Or a broken cart or something, because like I said, these guys are supposed to be in swamp. So if he's coming off an object, puts a bit of height into the scene. And I think this guy should kind of go in the center to add height to the base. When I say height, it's more like the silhouette. I think that's how I judge it by, the silhouette. Looking for interesting shapes. So your opponent, or whoever's looking at your unit, is not only captivated by the magnificent painting, but also the base itself. It has to be interesting. Apart from annoying to put down, hopefully this looks alright. That definitely needs to be pinned. If I hold in position, how does that? That looks like a mob of dudes. I feel like that needs one more in there. Like here or something. Just to fill up that gap. But unfortunately, I don't have any more of these particular goblins left. I might have to see if I can scrounge something up then. See what else I can come up with. But otherwise, I think I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty luggy. Or, if I have a bit of terrain here, as an example, that's already looking better. And what's this guy's flying off the side? That doesn't make much sense. So he can fill up the gap there. This guy can do his magic on the side here. And that looks a bit better in terms of filling the space. Yeah. Alright, see how we go with these guys then. So after the stream, I'm going to take a photo of this so I can get a general idea of where things should be. And then I can take them off and then build up the base. And then start to add those things once they're painted, because I always paint first before adding to base. So I guess I'm sort of glad that half of these guys are already painted, and they're just goblins. It's black and green and a bit of brown, who cares. Alright, so this guy, he's got a ball and chain going up in that direction, so he's going to be in that corner, because we don't want it going over the top of heads like this. It's kind of going straight across. So perhaps we should do that guy instead. No, but then we've got two fellas up here. Dilemma. Well, change position. If we angle him a certain way, so instead of going straight on like that, if we angle him this way, so now the ball is going behind, not to the side. And we put him up front, so it looks like he's kind of looking at the center of the unit. And that's where he's traveling. Then this guy can flang out that way, and it doesn't look too bad. It's all about flank control. And remember, there will be terrain elements interspersed with all of this. He will be up back because he's boring. This guy's pretty cool, so he'll be up front. But we're up front. How about this guy? What is he doing? He's gone that way. So this guy, because there's not much room, he's gone over here. And this one. So that looks like he's about to hit his mate with a club. I don't know if I'm happy with that. Shall we change positions? That kind of cuts the base in half if I put it direct center. And leave him for last. I think this guy's the problem. So if we put him here... Yep. I can also angle that fella so he's, again, not straight, but kind of more up. So how about I just snip that tab to help facilitate that. Okay, snipped on an angle. But where do you put him? Does that look too dumb? What about that? Him further up back maybe, because of the big stick. Looking forward. And what's this guy doing? I think we've got it. There we go. Great success. That's that one, or the positioning of that one anyway. I think that's fine. Maybe I'll just shove him over a bit. And this is why I don't want to use too many miniatures for this. It's because it'll get so crowded. This is filled out enough. No one's going to get confused as to whether or not it's a big or small unit. Alright, last one. Running out attack. Hopefully we don't need very much. Let's put this guy up the back because it's nice and high. Let's put, we're going to have to cut this metal tab. Clip and clip. Ow! Kind of poked me in the thumb. Alrighty. So we've got one guy on the... So it looks like all these guys go on the, the far side. How about we move him, just to change things up, on this side. See how you go there, buddy. This guy's flinging out forward. Attack probably isn't going to help me here, because of the center of gravity. Nope. Do him last. But then this guy's kind of moving across the side. Center? How about more center? Does that work for your schedule, Sir Fanatic? Meh. Not too happy with that placement. Yeah, I just don't like him on the side. On that particular side, anyway. I think Flingy Man should do that. Out there. So if he's there, does that even work? I don't know. Because I've also got to have a bit of a plan as to what the terrain element's going to look like on the thing, to try and work around it. Maybe he's the problem there. Being there is the problem. He's going to cut across, and he's going to stand there. Does that look not bad? It looks okay. I think I'm just going to have to be happy with that and get on with my day. There you go, Luggets. That'll do. And that's how I do conversions on figures to make them work. I could do another stream for the terrain portion. I don't know if you'd be interested in that. Let me know in the suggestion box. Someone use it, that'd be good. Otherwise it's going to up on YouTube Archive, which you don't have a suggestion box, so leave a comment on that one. See how you go. But I'm going to keep painting on the Wingit and the Warp-Up Launcher off air. I might undercoat these guys this afternoon, and then get started on painting them, and then we can work out the trains later. But otherwise, I'm going to start backing up. Thanks for tuning in, all those who did, and I'll see you soon.